Welcome back to Old Tree Vintage. Manny Savignano. I know it's been a while, so if you're watching this, I absolutely do appreciate that. I have a review for you today. It's a Longmill CNC MK2, which is their brand new version of their original, which I also have. So it's going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to take you through some of the building process. I'm not going to video everything and make you sit through that, but I'll point out some things along the way. I'll bring you along with some of that. Please ask questions below. If I missed something or something doesn't make sense or you have a question about something maybe I didn't show, please let me know. And also, it really helps me out if you would subscribe to the channel and like this video. Appreciate you coming back and watching. Hope this helps. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start with this rail box because I'm very curious. I'll show you how they're packed. Alright, so when you first open it, here's what we're looking at. And we got excited about it. That's what you're looking at. That's what we see. Okay. Okay, this is just that one's empty. I think most of these are. There's stuff in here. MK2EX, a hardware box. So there's that one. This one is much heavier. So this is the drag chain and cable box. Okay. Alright, so here's the lead screw. I'm going to show you this profile here, and I'll show it to you on their original one. You get a good look at that. The other one that they had before they upgraded all their machines. So I'm going to move this off to the side, and we'll get into this bigger box over here. And of course they're not belt driven, which is fantastic. The MK1 that I have, and all the MK1s, the only belt they have is for the Z axis on the top. When they upgraded, they have the motor on the top facing down, so it just drives right in. This one is way faster to put together and more rigid. And we'll talk about why as we move on. Okay, so this is what this box looks like when it's open. All right, here's the router. It's not labeled, but the great thing that these guys do on the website and as you're putting it together, they show you the box, an example of the box and how it's packed, so you can see all the individual boxes. And they show you what's in each box. So it's really very well done. It's very nice. Here's the X gantries, XY gantries assembly. This one is specifically for the 48 by 30. These are of course different because it's so much bigger. This is your welcome pouch, and then we have this pink flyer in here. We'll take a look at that real quick. Here's themselves as well. This is the controller. Not labeled. I thought they might have labeled when I bought the other one, but I'm not sure. Okay, and then these are this is the lead screw, drag chain, Y rails, and the end feet. Now, if you didn't know this, the original version of this, like I said, the other one I had, a smaller version of this. The other way. I'll open this because I'm going to get these out and looked at for that table. Okay, I'll edit here to this part of the video. Remember how much come with these. You can also buy through CNC. These are different because you don't need the special. I can't remember the name of it to slide in here. These work with like a general bolt head, and I'll put that here if I can find one. so you can kind of see what that looks like. But that way you don't have to look for those specific ones there. So these are the rails that I will be using. If I remember correctly, there's screws in here somewhere to put these down between the screws. Okay, so in just a few seconds here, we're going to head over there. I'm going to get these things open. I'm going to use the table saw to place some of the materials so I can start getting this together. If anything, I'd say if you have any questions or anything with some of the other CNC machines, Inventables, what is that? Onefinity. I looked at that too. That also does not have belts, but that's a lot more expensive. And so when I got the first one, I was very happy with that. All right, let's do this. Okay, and this one's very important. It's pretty cool. These are the motors and the cables that we have. We'll talk more about these when we get to them, but I just figured I'd show them to you. So that's what's in these boxes. The other ones I showed you first, the welcome patch, and then the other rails that are over there. Okay, in this one we have the Y rails. So we've gotten this far. Just kind of want to give you an update. A lot of what you're doing in the beginning is working on this and putting these bolts into the V wheels. So that part's kind of easy. Then you're doing that a lot. Then you're putting the V wheels on over here, and now we're just putting the lead screws in. And now we're getting ready to put this mammoth on, and this is again 30 by 48. So it's a nice big one. So I'm going to get this ready. So this will go on here next. Then we slide the Z on here. So this has to slide on this end, and then once this is on, then we attach this to this. All right, I apologize. The sun's coming in the garage door there, so not the best. But these are things you work on to help sustain that. But I wanted again to show you. See, here's these are the X and Y's here, and you see how, like if you look at how they are here. Feet, not fond of that, but I have to admit I haven't really had any issues with it. But these are like the V's. So I'm going to move out of the way and talk to you real quick. This is how far I am right now. This is not officially in, as I mentioned earlier. Sorry if I repeat some stuff. So now it's time to get the motors on. So I'm going to be working on that with you, and I'll keep the camera on a little bit here to show you, maybe grab it and bring it around. I don't have the best system yet. Hopefully that changes, but I'm using an older iPad mini to put this together. And you can see in the picture the dark areas, the different motors and the drag chain and so on. That's where I'm at. Just so you can see that. So we're gonna need some of these to mount the motor up there. We're going to need washers. Everything is labeled. I don't know why I'm showing you that. Everything's backwards. I apologize. I'll show you what's actually in there though. Get some of those to screw all that down. And then of course the motors. There's our motors. Pretty big motors. We got to go on these back rails down here and mount us some motors. Okay, so I'm gonna take two out. These are a pretty nice size for this, but then this is a nice size machine. So I just pop these guys in here. And it's going to go on there, but let me do a couple other steps to get this all ready. So you can, so it's got a ways to go to be tight, and that's monotonous a pinch. But I do want to point out that you have, so there's these two screws in this black thing here. That this one that I'm touching now is for this, so it doesn't come apart, and then this one is for the motor, as you can see as I put it in there. So you want to make sure that's tight before you tighten that one. All right, now I have to finish tightening this up, and honestly I stopped the video before because my fingers don't work well, and I dropped these washers I don't know how many times to try to hold that together, so I struggled with that a little bit. But just to kind of give you a heads up, I have to do this opposite side over there, and then I've got to do one right here. Sorry if I'm bouncing you around a bit. I have this backwards, I apologize. One here, and then the last one goes, am I showing you that? Goes right there. Okay, so I only have one of 4 completed thus far, but I'll keep you posted. So we have one here. That's the one we did. I went ahead and did that one over there at that end. So we have this one yet to do, and this one's a little bit different because of this lead screw here, and these parts here, very specific, has to be tightened very, very tight. And then this is our last one, just to kind of have you see in there. All right, there's our update. Okay, so we have the motors all installed, all 4 of them, the X, Y, and now Z. They're all on there now. Not wired up yet. That's one of the next steps, as well as the cable harnesses have to be done yet. But I'm also going to, I think I mentioned this before, but I'm going to replace these, make them, this is actually 4.5 inches wide, so I'm going to swap these out. I won't show you that, but just so you know, I don't know that you have to, because if you look at where these holes are, I think either way I'm okay. But I do want to just kind of even that up just in case. So now I mount that down, because that's a step later on when we have things going here. You got to do one whole side first, and then you move this up and down to make sure. So in other words, if that's all screwed in, then you bring this all the way back here like this, pop some screws in here, then go maybe halfway or maybe to here, the distance, pop these screws in, then you go to here, pop these screws in, and so on till you get to the end. But again, that's already in, so certainly to make sure that it's square, and then you could do the measurements, which we'll do, of course. But so far, pretty sturdy. This is this feels like a beast. I mean, just looking at the differences between this one and here's the other one that to be able to do that. But that's how I did this, and based on my other marks around there. So you'll see there's that mark, and with a measurement from that mark, this is going to fit in this little channel here, right up against. That means from here to the next one, which will go right here. Call this area my actual work area start, so that I can pull these up here far enough so they're not back there too far, they're not up here too far, and then I'll eventually measure all this so they're all straight. Countersink, you want to make sure that you countersink everything that you put into this. But I'm pretty excited about where we're at so far. So as you can see, this is quite the monster. Okay, so all the wiring is done. Drag chains are on. Drag chain is, I just have to close these clips still. Keeps all your wire nice and neat. Alright, so we're back over the machine now. And we have this clamped down. We have our piece measured. Here's the, you can't really see it probably, but this down a little bit more so we have a better idea here. Alright, so we would appear currently to be right on top of that. So we're going to raise that up. Then we are going to grab, we're going to zero this out. Again, I'm using a program called Easel because it's super easy. Then we confirm that we put the plate back. Now it's probing. Alright, that means we are ready to carve. Okay, and here we go! Alright, so we finished that. We're going to have some ends, but as you can see, haven't been careful. So we're just going to move this guy out of the way. Pick it up a little bit more if we want to change anything. Alright. So, did a pretty good job. Wish I used a better font, but it does look okay. The machine did a fairly good job. So try to get in there close, but you can see definitely got down in there. Some spots it's smooth. Some spots it is not smooth. Part of that has to do with some of the V wheels that are a little loose, not too bad, so it didn't skip around too much. But there's a couple areas that could be, cleaner, I would say. I don't know if you could see in there, but still pretty nice. Can't complain. But I know when I go ahead and change those out, I'm sorry, not change them out, but like tighten them up and loosen on the bottom so it gets real steady there. And then we'll see if we need any more adjustments after that. So there's our first cut. Not too shabby. Again, not too shabby. Okay, so our Old Tree Vintage sign, not too bad. So we're going to go ahead and cut some more stuff here and see what we can get out of. As of right now, between putting this together, the price, the setup of all of this, so far so good. Okay, so just to wrap this up, I've been using this for maybe 2 months now, and a couple things I just want to mention. I know it's a long video. I hope it helped. Please comment below. Let me know what you thought. As you can see, I've been cutting stuff out on this. It's a monster. It's big. It's powerful. I don't know how this would compare specifically to the Onefinity, the X-Carve Pro. I know Onefinity does have like yet another model up. I think it comes with a beautiful big screen. But if you compare prices between the same size units, the Longmill from CNC is very, very affordable. The X-Carve, they have some nice machines. I told you I had the belt-driven ones. I think the regular ones are still belt-driven. They have a wider belt. Not sure what that does. Still can stretch. I know their Pro is very, very, very expensive. That doesn't use one of these. It uses an air-cooled spindle. I would love to test that one out. I would love to test the Onefinity versions out among the other ones. I know I forget the company off the top of my head, but they are now foregoing the belts on their units, and I read very quickly that they didn't want to do that. They thought the belts were better, but just based on their customers wanting the lead screws, they did switch to that. Didn't do a ton of cuts on this. We'll be following this up with a bunch of cuts, some more video of cuts, and so on. A lot more to come with this in general. I've got a few things to review. Again, not getting paid, just something I want to do for you. Hope you enjoyed that. Please leave comments below, questions, suggestions, and I would truly, truly appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell, like the video. Appreciate all you can do for the channel and for me. Peace.